Hey guys, welcome back. So, what a day it was. And today is another perfect example of why we study our statistics and hopefully why we learn from our statistics. So today in this video, besides obviously talking about the stocks, I want to talk about a little bit more of my stats and what I'm thinking about it. And then also I want to focus on pre-market, what I'm usually looking for. In the comments yesterday, I heard that there was some interest for me explaining what I like to look for pre-market. Because you guys know that most of my profits come from 7 to 8 a.m., then 8 to 9 a.m., and then from 9 to 10 a.m. is the least amount of my profits. And I'm not really looking at news or anything, and I'm only looking at my scanners and the tickers right in front of me. So I'll talk a little bit more about what exactly it is that I'm looking for. Although I want to make this video in two parts because I want to hit these slopes really soon here. It dumped yesterday, and the lifts open in 35 minutes, so I still have time to make it there. So I'm just gonna quickly look at my stats and then I'll film the rest of the video when I get back after the snowboarding session. Okay, so today I really don't think I did that good. I had some really big losers. One of my last trades of the day I lost $1,000 on, and I was just like, oh, that was silly. That was really frustrating. It was, I don't know, somewhere in this area. 427 fills, so a little bit more than average. I was trading bigger size today. A lot of my trades were around $15,000. I had some over $20,000, so that's good. But yeah, small wins and small losses make a big difference. And that last trade was a big percentage loser and a big dollar loser because the size was pretty big. So I don't know. I think I made like $500 today. It's really hard to say. At one point I thought I was red, and I think it was unfortunate because I traded quite a bit after the market opened and there was no good resolution. So if we just had a little bit of resolution after the market opened, it could have been a home run day for sure. But I ended up just constantly giving back profits after 7 a.m. So let's quickly look at it and see what's up. And boom, there we go. I'm up $400 again. Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm not going to lie. Like EAR, I'll talk about this one when I get back from boarding. But I was so green on this ticker at one point. So overall quite frustrating. Oh, well, I can't complain about being green. It is nice, and $400 a day. Well, actually, let's take out the calculator. So there's $400 a day times there's roughly, I don't know, 260 work days a year. So the days the market are open. I mean, that's over $100,000 income. Day trading only 3 hours a day. So it's not bad. Like, I'm not complaining about my profits here. But it is just frustrating because I'm basically a third up of what I was after working more. So, working longer and then making less money is basically what the feeling I have right now is. So it is a little bit frustrating. And I'm also a little bit annoyed at some of these tickers that they're just not holding their highs. Obviously, yesterday was a big dump day in the markets and crypto overall. So I should have been maybe a little bit more cautious, and I should have been happy that I was even able to nail some of the front sides today. But yeah, it's always a good reminder that, you want to take your profits, and sometimes the best thing to do is not trade or walk away. But hey, you don't make money by not trading, so you gotta sometimes, push it as well. And hopefully you just get better and better at having kind of a sixth sense for when you should ease off the throttle, because sometimes it's just like a small percent change in what you're doing and will make a huge profit change at the end of the week, month, year, and so on and so forth. All right, so I'll continue this recap later. We'll talk about stats, what I'm looking for pre-market, and the tickers I traded today. So I'll see you then for that second half. Time to hit the slopes. All right, guys, I'm back. I got my session in, so let's keep going with this recap video. And I did want to share here, recap will be delayed a bit, chasing powder on the slopes. I think some of you guys saw this, but I did want to mention that this picture was not from this morning at 8 a.m. This was from a day or two before. So I was not drinking beer at 8 a.m. Although it's not always the worst idea, but that's a different discussion. So let's get back into the recap video. And one thing I want to bring up before we dive into the tickers is what I look for pre-market. So if you go to step number 3 under tradejournal.co/connect, you can check out the slides and checklist PDF. And right down here, I talk a little bit about pre-market. I think this is on the second page. So what I'm looking for pre-market, and just keep this in mind because when we look at the tickers later, this will be good to have in the back of your head. A ticker that's holding its highs. Now, this is a little tough because typically I'm trading at 7 a.m. and boom, we'll see a new ticker pop up, and then you want to start getting aggressive on that front side. So this doesn't necessarily hold true all the time, but sometimes you'll have a extended hour gapper that had its front side run already, and now it's consolidating, and you're looking for that second leg, that second run, and that's really, really important for holding its highs above VWAP. I don't like a ticker that's pulling back too much from pre-market highs, usually around 25, sometimes maybe 30%. But after that, it gets a little bit hairy. Once it's down to like 50 or 55% down from pre-market highs, you might be able to look for bottom bounces or simple small reversals from there. But usually I want to see a ticker hold its highs. And once it starts pulling back too much, especially below VWAP, it's not that great. This is definitely a big one here. Ideally up 40% pre-market. This is really, really important. I don't like tickers that are kind of struggling around 20 to 30%. Sometimes I trade it if there's nothing else, but usually I'll just let it sit, especially in a hot market, because I don't want to touch anything until it's really, got momentum. I want to see a quick, 1, 2, 3 minutes where it's up 60%, starts pulling back. I want to nail that and start, running to the front side with the ticker, or holding the ticker to the front side. So that's really important for me. And then not over traded pre-market. This is actually kind of in the wrong column. This should be at the market open. Basically, if a ticker is extremely traded pre-market, I don't want to get super aggressive on it once the market opens, because there's a good chance it's already over traded. It's already reached its price target and it's going to sell off. And actually EAR today was a perfect example of that one. So keep this in mind for EAR. If a ticker is very traded pre-market, be careful at the market open, because it probably is already done. And then, as you guys know, what I ask myself all the time is, what is the most obvious gapper? What's the number one ticker that I should be trading right now? I always say, when I do my profit reveal at the end of the day and you see I traded like 5, 6, 7, 8 tickers or something, those are usually my worst days, because I'm not focused on one specific ticker. There was no clear obvious winner, which means it was all a little bit choppy most likely. For me, the best is, like I said, when there's that really obvious clear gapper. And then just overall tradable stocks, I'd like those stocks between $2 and $7. A fast rate of change. This is kind of like ideally up over 40% pre-market. I don't want a ticker that's like, has a big green candle and that's only 3% or 4%. I want those 10, 15, 20% big candles. That's what I'm looking for. Fast rate of change. This is really important to me, and that kind of comes with volume. And that's actually one thing I don't really mention here so much. I want to see those tickers with 100 plus, ideally 200 plus shares being traded per minute. So keep a big eye on that. I'll point that out in the charts as well later, but I want to see that big volume. And that's roughly for a $5 stock, let's just say. So obviously, if we're trading a $14 stock and it's, between 50 and 100 shares being traded per 1 minute, that's still okay. And if it's a $2 stock, I want to see north of 500 shares being traded per minute. Otherwise, something might be a little bit wrong with that ticker for a good aggressive front side move. Strong spike history, former runner. Yes, it is important that the daily chart looks good, has big spikes, and ideally they hold their highs, maybe multi-day runs, something like that. Otherwise, you want to keep in mind it might be time to run away at one point after 1, 2, 3 pullbacks, and especially at the market open. That's definitely something we talk about every single day in the recap videos. We start on the daily chart. This is just fundamental. News catalysts, I do like when tickers have some sort of news, but it's not my primary focus anymore, because in the last few years, we've had so many tickers that just, had huge runs and there was no catalyst. So if I was focused on the news catalyst, I would have got over biased, not traded it, and it would have been the best ticker to trade. So news is always one of those things. It's tough, sometimes tickers just up because it's being traded, and I know that sounds silly, but that's what it is. So news catalyst, it's great to have, but it's not a necessity. This is also another important one. I like stocks with floats below 50 million and ideally below 10 million. But ideally below 10 million is like 100%. Those are the ones that usually have a fast rate of change, and they're going to be flying through some big resistance, and ideally they're going to get into those blue sky setups where there's no resistance when you look to the left, all-time high prices, and most likely those tickers will be getting halted as well. So below 10 million float for sure. Okay, so keep all these things in mind, or print it out, put it on your desk, and just know this is what I'm always thinking about. Really, the only thing you can improve from here is just like making it a habit and getting a feeling for what this all means. But that's pretty much it. It's pretty black and white, no suspense there. Okay, so let's start with these tickers. PSTV. Let's just start with this one. I don't even think this ticker is on our scanners anymore. No, it's not. Okay, let's see what happened. When PSTV popped up, I was actually really surprised, because this one had a bunch of warrants, and I was not excited to trade this one because I knew this ticker was just going to be a disaster because of those warrants that we talked about in the previous recap video. So I'm not going to talk so much about the daily chart. You guys already know about this ticker, but let me zoom in on the 1 minute and show you guys why I did end up trading this one. and actually zoom in the 5-minute here. You can see it a little bit better as well. Basically, this ticker was crawling towards this big resistance zone around 168. I did like this zone. I would have liked it more if I can get into this first pullback here. It ripped up 12%. I thought maybe there's a small chance that we're going to have at least a retest of this area. I could squeeze out maybe 3-4% or so. It didn't happen, and volume basically was pointing to the backside, and I was like, I don't like this one. I quickly cut my losses. This was a very, very small loss, so I'm pretty happy. I knew this was going to be a little bit sketchy just because I didn't like the overall ticker and the daily, and the fact that I had warrants that were already being exercised. So I knew I didn't want to hold it very fast unless we got instant resolution. So breakout or bailout, and luckily I was able to walk away with a tiny loss on this one. And just to put in perspective, with some of these other tickers, especially with EAR, I've had north of $1,000 losses today. I think unless it was like a $900 loss. So a $69 loss is absolutely tiny, and just acting quick, and that was able to save me. Let's go to BBY. Nothing too interesting here. This ticker is up on earnings, which is a good catalyst, but for a day trading stock, I just wasn't so interested in this ticker, Bed Bath & Beyond. It is kind of a larger company, $1.4 billion market cap. So again, that really doesn't fit what I was talking about earlier, and 101 million shares outstanding. That's just really not the statistics I like to look for. But there wasn't a lot going on at one point pre-market, so I did take a stab at it. And let's just look here what I did do. This ticker had a great recovery pre-market after kind of an aggressive sell-off, found support around 12 and just shot up so aggressively. And then at the market open, it was starting kind of a second leg here, but eventually got rejected. And on the 5-minute, we were seeing some really big support around VWAP. And that's why I ended up going into this trade looking for ideally a quick pop back to the upside. I didn't want to look for a reversal. I thought we were going to maybe see the 9 EMA, so this was a very, very quick trade here. And you can see I was trading with bigger size, so 1,000 shares on this trade, so that's a $15,000 position size. So I'm trying to size up, and that overall went pretty good, but is scratch. I mean, I only made $95 on a pretty decent sized position, so that was a scratch trade. Let's keep going to EAR, because this is where things get fun, and I'm up $155 on this ticker, which is nothing. I gave back so much money on this ticker, which is so frustrating. I think my running P&L today is going to be a disaster. We could look at that really quickly at the end of this recap video, but let's go to the charts first and see what's going on with this one. So EAR, I think I've traded this one in a different account at one point. It must have been my cash account that I deleted. But yeah, backside ticker to the fullest, and it's kind of crawling through these big resistance zones at the moment. High relative volume today, so that's looking really good. Let's see here. Healthcare ticker, 40 million shares outstanding, 300 million market cap. So a little bit high maybe on that end, specifically on the market cap zone, but it had a huge move today. It's up 64%. So the market cap was pretty much below $200 market cap earlier. So it was definitely still a small cap, and it still kind of is. Yeah, okay, let's dive into the 5 minutes, see how this one behaved. And wow, yeah. This was such a disaster at the market open. It was getting infuriating trading EAR at the market open. Now it's kind of crawling back to this kind of resistance zone now, the former support, new resistance. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but I don't like doing recaps so late in the day, because it makes me feel like, I don't know, it just gives me a little bit of FOMO, or makes me want to trade or something silly. So let's move along here before I do something dumb. Looks like they came out with some catalyst. Let's see if we could just click on one here. Ergo shares are trading higher after the company announced the Department of Justice confirmed to it that the previously announced criminal probe is no longer active. I think that they meant to say longer active. Okay, that's good. Basically means the government is no longer fishing for a problem inside their company. I don't know, better or worse. Anyway, this ticker, look at that front side move. It was so beautiful. 89, 90% maybe of a move here, and then the market open just totally pooped on me so hard, and I gave back quite a lot of profit. I think actually right here, out of all places. So silly, backside. Why am I doing that? So annoying. But let's go to the 1 minute and see why I was getting interested in this ticker, because that's what we want to make the focus of this recap video. So boom, 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 and right around 8:40 a.m. pre-market, this Eastern Standard Time, this ticker just shoots up here, and look at that. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. It goes up 30. Actually, no, that's not true. 7 candles. It goes up 40%. That's okay, not bad. But look at the volume here, 200 and 400 shares being traded. This is really good for a $5 ticker at the time, and then a $6 and then a $7 ticker. The volume was insane on this ticker, and that's why I got excited. So I actually ended up buying as it was pulling back on this 1 minute, and it ripped up here, and boom, I took a 2,000 shares, and I think on this trade alone, I made like 5%. So I made like $600-700 on this one trade, and right now I'm up $155 on EAR, and I made a lot of other good trades on EAR. So the amount of money I gave back at the market open was depressing. It could have been a really, really good day. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Had a pullback. I sold here, actually here. This was okay. It looks like it was pretty bad, but I only did sold partial size here, and I got some of this pop too. So that was a really nice trade. At this point, I was up the most on EAR. And it was looking really, really good. I got another pullback here, got that breakout. That was looking good. Eventually, we had a pullback, no more continuation, and then I closed, and I was like, this ticker is probably ranging at this point. It's pretty much done. I thought we were going to get at least a good attempt to break 9 at one point. This is just so painful to look at. I wish I just walked away at this point. But look at the volume. This is really what I want to focus on right now. 500,000 shares being traded per minute. Maybe on average, I'm not totally sure what's on average, but on some of these 1 minute candles, we're seeing like 1.2. What's this one? 1.16, 820,000. So we're getting a lot of shares being traded per minute on this, and this is why I was so excited on this ticker. And I think that's even why I tried a few more times here, thinking we might get some sort of pop. I was kind of range trading in this zone. You can see here I was scalping because we had big supporter at 806 and then big resistance around 845. So I did a little bit of scalping in this area as well. Let me just check here. So we're holding above VWAP, over 25% max pullbacks from pre-market highs. Yeah, it didn't really pull back that heavy. This pullback was like 10% or so. Pullbacks were very chill. Ideally up 40% pre-market. It's definitely doing that. Over-traded pre-market. It was over-traded pre-market. It was totally over-traded pre-market. So I did not stick to my rules because I should have left EARs alone because it was over-traded pre-market. So this was a big warning sign here, and I should have paid attention to that a little bit more. I'm not totally sure what the float is, but the shares outstanding at 40 million, so the float is probably less than 40 million, so most likely around 30 million float or so. So that's actually a pretty nice area. It does have a catalyst here. Strong spike history. Let's quickly look at that. Well, no, not really. The daily chart is pretty ugly on this one as well. So no, big X on that. But usually if you just get like 7 of these things, that's already more than you can ask for. You never get everything here getting a check mark, so keep that in mind. Good daily room to run? No, that's a big no-no. We have huge resistance on this ticker, right around 860, and that's exactly where we got slammed on this ticker. 860, $9. This ticker did not want to budge after that. So no room to run unless we broke over $9. Then we had blue skies till at least, I would say maybe 10.25 or so. And after that, we could have had a really good upside. Those actually would have not been blue skies. Blue skies is when there's no resistance to the left, but still, it would have felt like it because it was a huge gap down ticker. Fast rate of change for sure, and then ideally between $2 and $7. That's pretty much perfect. I mean, we started here at $4 and we ended at $8.80. So this ticker fits a lot of criteria. And looking back, I wish I was even more aggressive on this ticker, honestly, except at the market open. Okay, let's zoom in here. So this ticker opened up here and then flashed down. I actually ended up buying some here, looking for that continuation. I sold, made a little bit of profit, but it wasn't really that great. Same trade here, kind of like a red to green potential move, took some quick profit. And then I think somewhere here was where I made my big mistake. Yeah, I edged into this trade looking for that pop, and we did get a bit of a pop here. And I had my limit order at like 790 something. And I missed my exit several times, and then I got stuck into this huge flush. It was like 6-7%. I sold almost at the perfect low, and I sold 1,600 shares here and 1,200 shares here. So yeah, this was a almost 3,000 share position, and it was like $714, $23,000 position size. So yeah, in this one trade, I think I gave back like $1,400 or so, and I was like, oh, devastating. And it was really my fault. I should have cut my losses here very quick, or took profits. I was even profitable for a little bit. You know, today could have easily been a $2,000 profit day if that one trade just went a second different. I mean, at this one point, there was limit orders just right by my, or there was buyers right by my limit order to sell. So I was so close to getting out on this one. And after this point, I knew I was emotional on EAR, and I knew that somehow I could not trade this ticker. So I didn't trade anything else. I didn't look back at this ticker. I just knew it just was not working out for me. So I've been getting pretty good at just walking away when things stop working out and not revenge trading. I mean, obviously it gets me every now and then, but I've gotten much better in the past. So I'm pretty happy that I was able to walk away and at least end green on this ticker. I always like to think about, like, when I woke up this morning, I had no money on EAR, and now I made $155 on EAR. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened in between, but at least overall, I'm walking away green on this ticker, so that definitely makes me feel a little bit better for sure. But it was definitely an emotional roller coaster for that one. FLRN, this was a ticker from yesterday. Let's go to it, FLRN, and I didn't have the biggest hopes for it. Or was it not a ticker from yesterday? Why does it feel like it was? Anyway, this one, backside ticker as well. Big resistance here at 2.7. Take out that checklist and go through that checklist in your head right now while I talk about this ticker. Let's see, biotech, 36 million shares outstanding, 74 million market cap. Those are really good looking stats. It looks like there's some catalyst coming here, FDA clearance or whatnot. Okay, so it has a catalyst that's looking really good. 4-hour chart. Wow. Yeah, was it? No, okay, that was still pre-market. So yeah, this ticker has just a tremendous amount of resistance. And let's look at the 5-minute again. And whoo-wee, the freaking market open sucks. I honestly don't know why I trade the market open. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of energy. And for me, I think it's a waste of money actually. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll show you my stats in a second here. So yeah, 5-minute, very, very strong aggressive 5-minute. And this is why I was getting aggressive. It was the ticker to trade between 7 and roughly 750. This is where all your attention should have been. It had that good volume. Let's go to the 1-minute chart. Now, okay, the volume was okay. 200 shares being traded, and it's like a $3 stock. Before it was like a $250 stock. So the volume is okay. It's not beautiful like EAR was. Which should have made it trade a little bit better at the market open, but I don't know, everything just sells off at the market open. It's gap and go. It feels a little bit dead, which is depressing. Every now and then you get one, but it's not what it used to be, that's for sure. So this ticker is crawling up. 5-minute, we're on a front side. We're trending over the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. On the 1-minute, we're trending over the 9 EMA, and everything is looking very bullish. I don't think I traded it till we really had this green pop here. I got this 1-minute pullback. That was nice. Made some profit there, but I missed a lot of the good moves on this ticker, which was a little bit depressing. But I didn't have a lot of big red trades, so that actually allowed me to walk away even more green on this one. So really, just avoiding sometimes the red stuff is half the battle, or maybe even the majority of the battle. Anyway, eventually it starts forming a bear flag here on the 5-minute. You can kind of see it. Hopefully you guys can see it. Right there's the bear flag, and I noticed this and I just stopped trading at this at one point. I was like, this is really, really sketchy, could flush at any point. So I avoided that. Looks like we were entering in the backside. I did a few backside dip trades here, mainly because frontside wasn't working as well today for me. So I tried a few little kind of scruffy trades here. I think they were overall just a bunch of scratches, but yeah, I think I did all right, and I don't really regret it. I think I was just trying something different because everything was selling off at one point. Today was definitely another classic day where, once you milk the front side, it just is best to leave, walk away, and save your time, your energy, and your money for the next day where there's going to be hopefully another front side, because you could really see that sticking around is just not paying the bills. And talking about not paying the bills by sticking around, this is my 2021 insights here, and you can see I make the majority of my money at 7 a.m. and then between 8 and 9, or 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. So that's 9 all the way till 10 a.m. If you add these two up, I don't even make what I make at 7 a.m. So if I just only traded 7 a.m., 7 to 8 a.m., and then went to bed again or did the recap or whatever I did after that, doesn't really matter, I would be pretty well off. Obviously, this is a lot of money to leave on the table, but just think about that. I mean, that's 2 hours of mental strenuous work. I think it's worth it, but it's good to note that if there's nothing really, really good, maybe I should be quite cautious here. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And then if you look at those same stats for this year, so just only this year so far, which is what, we're 4 trading days into the year, I made all my money at 7 a.m. and I've only given back 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. So that's crazy, specifically 9 a.m. And these stats are going to be even worse after I upload today's trades. So tomorrow, these are going to look even worse because I made most of my money at 7 and then I gave back a tremendous amount around 9 o'clock. So yeah, market open has just been whipping my booty. I think I would like to keep doing it because like I said before in these stats, it's worth it for me to do it, but I gotta get better at trading it, either by not trading it unless it's like really, really nice, reducing size so at least I don't have so many losers that, take away my pre-market work or something. But it's really annoying to make a bunch of money and then just spend the next 2 hours giving it all back. I find that somehow extremely frustrating. Yeah, let me go to my running P&L really fast here for January, and you can see, so yeah, Monday was a disaster. Tuesday, at one point we were up like 1.6 thousand, and then I gave back some money before after the market opened, and then similar thing happened Wednesday. I was up like $900 at one point, $955 at 9:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I just went ahead and gave back profits the rest of the morning. And then today is going to be something similar. I think I was up like $1,500 or $2,000, and then I just gave all that money back after the market opened. So that I find really frustrating, but it's also so easy to talk about this stuff in hindsight and be like, oh, why didn't I just stop trading here, or why didn't I just stop trading here? Well, what if I just stopped trading after my first 2 trades when I was only up $400, right? You don't make money by not trading, so I got to keep on trading. But psychologically, I got to know that it's just extremely volatile at the market open. It's not as clean as pre-market, and that's where I trip over myself. So unless it's a really good setup, I should be trading with smaller size after the market opens, so at least I don't give back too much profit. And I've done that certain days, and I know that works. It's just tough because I don't want to size down right now. I want to keep sizing up. But I could size up pre-market and then reduce my size as the day goes on so I don't give back that much profit. I could still make a little bit of money, but I just don't want to give back too much because psychologically that to me is just not really that worth it. It's too frustrating. That's also part of the game. I mean, if you can't handle that, then you can't be a day trader. So overall for the whole 2021, it was worth it. So I just have to kind of learn to live with it a little bit better and manage my risk a little bit better. And I think that will pretty much clean things up. Anyway, guys, I hope you found some value in this video, and I hope that cleared things up what I'm looking for a pre-market. Most of the time when a ticker just starts popping, you don't have so much time to look around at the float and the news and all that stuff, even the daily chart sometimes. So really the fast rate of change and the high volume are instant dead giveaways that this could be a ticker worthwhile. But you do want to have a good idea what the daily looks like. You do want to know where the big resistance zones are. I find that all very important. But just try to keep your trading very simple. The more complicated your trading strategy is, the more different indicators are going to be telling you a bunch of mixed messages. So you really want to boil it down to like 1 or 2 very core fundamental concepts that you can always rely on. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time, jumping in with confidence because you're going to be overthinking your trading. You got to keep your trading very simple, and that is absolutely key. All right, guys, I'm out for now. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to drop a like on the way out. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow morning for another day trading recap. It's Bonus Friday. I'm looking forward to it. If you're new, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you part of the community. And like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao.